On today's Minute of the Apes, Todd can't believe that there's a fetish where somebody likes to burp somebody and have puke on their shoulder.
Yeah, so that's my whole thing. Is we're talking about things, and I'm like, you cannot fetishize burping your child.
Fetishize anything.
What the fuck ever.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
The divine bomb.
The only good human is a dead human! There is fire, there is smoke.
The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. And I do believe that tease might have been the weirdest tease we've ever had.
I have to go look at Wiki Feet and see if they have any of the Planet of the Apes feet on there.
What?
Sean is now on a fetish tour of the internet to
Lovely.
figure out
There's
what.
a page called Wiki Feet where all it is pictures of
I've heard that.
celebrities' feet. Yeah. And
That
I
is-
just
Oh,
thought,
it's celebrity feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it's a celebrity feet.
And
It's just feet.
I get how different things can be fetishized. It's just, how did that? Oh, it was because, so in between, the two in between, Sean burps, Richard
no
starts
Planet of
going,
the
such a big boy. and then Sean's like, burp me, daddy. I was like, stop.
Hey,
and then
cut
it
out-
evolved
somebody
to
cut out-
vomit on the shoulder.
And I said,
don't-
anyone that's ever had a child would look at that and go, I'm sorry, I've had a kid. You burp it and blah. It's the weird places we go, and especially, look, Sean, I'm sorry to do this to you. It's the weird places you take us.
It is. It's
Hey.
all about Sean.
It's not,
Richard, are you and I the normal ones on this?
I think so.
Just
yeah,
remember,
that's
it's not-
very
question.
normal.
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey and the friends we make on the way. And the feet that we look at on the way.
With that said, let's move on to minute 72. Sean, tell us, after you get done drinking,
All right.
because we don't need any vomit. Okay, tell us what's happened, minute 72.
All right, we start minute 72 with the apes advancing in a rear-facing direction and mutants on the advance. Ape City is in danger.
I want a whole episode of Sean doing that. Did you almost spit take with that?
No, I realized I didn't want to. I didn't know if I was
Swallow
being
on
gulping.
mic.
Oh, yeah, I was gulping on mic. That's
All
some
right.
good water.
I'm glad. Minute 72, here
Burp.
it comes. Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
You can't stay here any longer. You must save yourself.
As of minute 72, we have a rapidly dwindling village worth of apes and humans, plus a shrinking ghost city worth of radioactive people, and still no corny.
All right, so visually, we get apes on the retreat with smoke casting through the trees. Very beautifully done, I must say. Lots of nice high exposure, low exposure areas. We get the mutants moving in as the apes again retreat. We get the bus driving over easily the weak point of the barricade. Easily.
I could have knocked that barricade over walking forward.
And then we get a side shot, which makes the barricade look a little more efficient. But we get the mutants driving into the city as the apes retreat. As you heard, we have Lisa inside the hut with the doctor as she begs her to leave and she mourns over her child. The last shots are again of the mutants as they close in on the city. So here we are. At least the threat is now we 100% know where the mutants
Yes,
are.
that was my note. At least now we have a sense of distance since the mutants have reached the barricades, and now we know how close they are. We know that they're pretty damn close at this point.
But let's get back again real quick to the barricade. So the shot of the barricade is a very flat forward shot of the barricade with literally what looks like a lobster pot that
yeah.
they put down here.
They just made a little X.
Yeah, it's
out of
almost
wood.
like everything convenes down into this V, and there's the lobster pot, and the bus just drives over
I
it.
mean, you could step over that. I mean,
Yeah.
it serves no purpose. Its only purpose is so it can be low enough so that the bus can run over it without getting stuck on it.
Now the second shot, and I know you want to say something before you go there. At 14 seconds, we get a side angle of the truck that pushes a side barricade. I wish that had been the first shot.
Yeah.
That looks, because it's
It
moving,
does, yeah.
it's a little more
You're seeing
exciting.
a bigger piece of the barricade go
Right.
away. Yeah.
I want to say the earlier minutes when I was looking at the barricade, it looked a lot longer and more impressive. And this is just such a tight on the same, 12 feet of barricade that it feels like it's just really staged and shot just to show only this much.
Exactly.
And I wish I had seen more of the barricade, but I don't know that they built it. They've just shot it so it looked like it was bigger.
Yeah,
and
because
longer
again, we
before.
don't. As far as we know, they could have just driven around the sides.
Well, I
of
mean,
the
you can
barricade.
see it right there. I mean, the convoy truck is kind of moving through and knocking over. That's the shot you wanted to see first instead
Right.
of the bus. This wide open over here on the other side. There's no real reason on the right side for them to even go over the barricade because they can just drive over it. They can drive through on this other side. It's just I mean, it's not super effective, but we understand what's going on.
Right.
I'm noticing at this particular moment there's a lot of apes on the ground dead at this point, and
Right.
not a lot of mutants. We don't see any mutants falling. Really, we just see apes falling in the battle.
You remember in a previous minute where we saw one like ape throw some rope net over the barricade? I want to see one mutant climbing over, and he gets caught in a burning rope, and you just see one ape go, "Yes, yes, I knew it would work."
I want to see the shot at 10 seconds where it's kind of just through the burning barricade and it doesn't really tell you anything. I want to see more of that. So we talk about barricades. I mean, how do you make a small gathering of wood and shit look formidable?
Yeah.
Shoot through it like that. Let me see it so it always feels present. And when you go to these wide shots, obviously the bus is the worst of the shots.
Right.
But even the one when the troop carrier goes through it, you can see to the right that there's an open area. Again, if you're shooting through that, then it makes me feel submerged within the barricade, and it's. I try to defend Thompson so often for how wonderful he can be. This is, to me, it feels lazy, and I don't know if it's a second unit director that picked it up and he was like, okay, that's fine. But a lot of these shots just feel lazy.
I mean, it's again, it's the lack of a score. It's there are apes on the ground, but again, I don't have the sense of the peril that the apes are in.
There's no sense of urgency by the mutants. They're just, and maybe that's supposed to be deliberate, that they're slow in plotting and you can't get away from them. They're never ending going to be walking at you. But to me, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like these are a bunch of older actors on an uneven surface. So let's not push them too hard when they were firing all these blanks. I mean, because we've seen maybe not the best motorcycle riders in the world in here, and they're driving these old beat up cars that have loaded ground suspension. Let's just take everything easy, guys. We don't want to break down anything.
I'm really tempted, and this is just me wanting to do it, and I'll share it with you guys this week. I'm going to take this minute, and I'm going to put
some music to
I'm
it?
going to put that score from Empire Strikes Back when the rebels fall
right,
back,
yeah.
and just I guarantee you this
Okay.
will feel
Yeah.
entirely different, and we'll share it out. Hell, I might even do it real quick while we're sitting here, but it would be so vastly different and more
Right.
compelling if it had something driving it here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very quick battle sequence. It's very fast.
Yeah.
It's just a series of movements of the apes failing at their barricade and the convoy kind of moving through the barricade.
Right.
But I have no sense of urgency. I don't know what's going on. It happened really quickly, and I'm like, okay.
But then it also brings up again, where is Aldo? Where's our
Agreed.
general? I mean, we've gotten now like 4 minutes without him showing up to a battle that, the man who hated humans has not fired a shot at a human.
I'm going to use the Aldo not being here, and I'm going to reference Empire. But you think about Empire when Luke's in his speeder and he's doing this stuff, and he's going to go up and throw the explosive inside the AT-AT. You still see shots of the other people firing at it from different places, and it brings this huge span to the battle because we see multiple points of attack. Now I get why they're going for the Aldo as a way. I know what's going to happen. I know how this works. But if we saw something of little mini stories of people doing things, even if it's, going back when you laughed about one person still throwing shit on the barricade, have them trying to bolster it, do something that
Maybe
shows
getting into a little bit of hand-to-hand contact.
yeah, something that kind of shows more than this very singular throughput.
There was supposed to be in the script a confrontation between Aldo and Culp prior
really?
to this moment. Yeah, Aldo and his gorilla on horseback were supposed to kind of ride around, and Culp was supposed to say, "Here comes the circus, monkeys on horseback, get ready for the performance." The mutants laugh. Aldo screams, "Attack, attack." We see the gorillas reach the top of the ridge. Camera zooms in very close shot of Aldo. Let's see. They're gathered in a semicircle on the road, weapons all trained on the very place where the gorillas are topping the ridge. Off the road, Aldo screams. He signals desperately for his troops to turn, but it's too late for some of them, and Aldo and a few others veer off the road and ride below the top of the ridge as the mutants open fire. The guerrilla cavalry loses its organization. Some follow Aldo, some retreat, some charge. We see the cavalry trapped between charging and retreating, being cut down by the mutant fire. We see individual guerrillas falling, and then we begin to kind of move back to the barricade stuff.
Anything like that could have really helped, at least cross-cutting and doing things like that to give us that feeling of a battle. You go back to Game of Thrones. One of the reasons I think those always worked was there were many stories. You even get down to the Battle of the Bastards when they talk about when Jon gets at the bottom of that pile and when he comes up is almost like his rebirth. Well, that's a little sub-story to the battle that keeps you interested and going. You want more. We don't have anything here other than boom, boom, boom.
And Aldo is missing. But Aldo is very obviously missing.
Right.
So I think Culp is getting his wish with he doesn't want any tree left standing.
No shit.
I can't recall if this is a reuse shot of trees going down, but I think this is our 7th or 8th tree that we put down.
So if there's
far.
Johnny Appleseed, he's Johnny Anti-Tree.
He's Johnny Weed Killer. I know.
He does not like his trees.
Johnny Fuck You Tree.
Fuck you, tree. There you go. All right, does anybody have anything else for this one?
Well, I don't know how this movie's going to end, but if Lisa doesn't get out of this house and she gets killed, I think Caesar's going to lose his shit if he loses his wife and his kid in one day.
When you start seeing the trees fall, that's why the doctor's like, I'm sorry, we're next.
We gotta go.
Get the hell out of here.
Go.
Well, I think that's pretty much it for minute 72. Anybody going, gone? Okay. That's it. We'll be back tomorrow, minute 73. Hopefully we get a little bit more to talk about. But until then, everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
The minute of the apes.